This is the Inspiring Innovation into a Team, a Thinkertoys inspired portfolio by Willie Smoker. The initiation thinker toy that I used was actually mind pumping. Mind pumping is an introduction on how to think differently and start developing thoughts. This is a great tool to introduce to a member of a team that is not necessarily part of the creative side of the team. If the intent is to move towards making innovation a part of the team dynamic, then this tool would help those who are not used to the idea of development to start using this tool. This would be a great tool to use when the team is stuck in the ritual of processes but have to need to change it up to make it more interesting. Weekly meetings tend to have this type of feel, but if a creative element were introduced, it may reinvigorate the staff. Inclusion of all the staff in decision making and new ideas would reinvest them and deter burnout. Implementation of this type of tool would need to be the entirety of the team, as this would make all feel included and no idea of hierarchy would be present. Some of the tools used within the mind pumping are to set an idea quota, which is rather simple. Just say that you're going to come up with 10 ideas per day and then write them down. Get tone, which is what basically when fighter pilots actually engage another plane, they actually use the term get tone, which is mean that they're focusing. Don't be a duke of habit, which means to simple things like taking a new path to work might actually start changing your way of thinking. Feed your head, like reading new source material, something different. Do a content analysis, which basically means is like take stuff from your surroundings and identify trends within those documents. Create a brain bank. Save interesting articles and quotes. Be a travel junkie. When bored, go out someplace that you've never been before. Capture your thoughts. Keep a book or notepad for your thoughts. Think right, fluent and flexible, number of ideas, and create creative flexibility within those ideas, and then keep an idea log. Any one of those would actually make you start thinking a little differently and actually start developing ideas. I followed this tool with linear thinking and linear thinking A, the think bubbles. What the think bubbles will do will assist those members who are now attempting to address new ideas to now organize those thoughts. Team members of a team that are trying to develop a new style of thinking more creatively will benefit from this tool. Try initiating this tool into a regularly scheduled system, such as a process that is stagnating. Ask each team member to come up with ideas and then meet them to team bubble. The diversity of thought bubbles will help breathe life back into the mundane and also make the team more creative. The team will have to be led into the meeting so no one is left out and all voices are heard. This will help the team start innovating and make them look at other processes that are suffering and also better those that are working. Implementation of this tool would be after an assessment of those employees that have never contributed to the team, are on the level, and are comfortable to proceed. The way that this works is that it develops organization so you can group your related ideas, connect ideas with arrows or colors, and they can make it as simple or as complex as needed. Get rid of the words that don't matter. Refine your ideas. And these are the ideas that were developed in the mind pumping toy. Associate those ideas that may not seem to fit into the whole. New ideas may actually transpire. Review the idea in clusters to see if they all do relate. Get rid of those that don't or tweak it until it does. Mapping it out will help it become concrete in your thoughts and will make you start thinking differently. The next linear thinking tool I took was actually the tug of war thinker toy. The tug of war thinker toy would be used to help give the developer a look at the pluses of developing an idea and the negative forces on the same idea. This would then actually give them the ability to write down the idea they wish to develop into a product or new process. Write down the best case scenario, which would be implementation, and the worst case scenario, which is back to the drawing board. Then, using the tool, the conditions would be listed, which are the things that are modify or restrict development. These are whatever requirements are thought to be needed. These may fall into positive, negative categories. This will lead to the individual results and how they influence the ideas. If too many negatives exist, this may lead back to the drawing board, or if the negatives can be lessened, this could prove to be a solid idea for development. This would continue to shape those who are starting to enable their minds to become more creative and innovative. This tool will show them how to start to maximize the strengths and minimize the weaknesses in idea development. This will also start helping them to develop stronger ideas from the get go. This tool could be implemented rather early in the idea development process so those using it to learn quickly about developing stronger ideas, and also the aspect of back to the drawing board mentality in which failure is okay. This is the strongest aspect of this tool being used here, in that it must be identified that failure is okay. Implementation of this tool would be immediately after the think bubbles. In the whole of the process, this tool would help them to start to refine their thinking. The next linear thinking toy that I picked was Idea Tunes. Since the think bubbles have already organized the ideas into different sections, the Idea Tunes will help you look at ideas in different patterns. Since the ideas have been grouped, this will refine the idea by putting it into a process system with similar items. What you could do is actually write out each think bubble into an individual card and then associate some kind of drawing with it. This is for one aspect of all the think bubbles you may have used. Each card should have its own individual image on one side of a card and the idea on the other. Then shuffle the cards and lay down the card's image up and look at the images in different patterns. Since these are already associated with think bubbles, it may give new ways of delivering the same idea. For example, if you are set to do an idea like at your pizza business, you may have come up with such things as faster baking time, faster delivery time, cheaper price, and more pizza choices. Since these are all directly associated with sales, you may categorize them as such, and thinking bubbles organization will then lead to idea tunes. This association might be more pizzas delivered at once, will then reduce cost, which frees up time to actually cook more pizzas. Free association is the goal of this exercise to refine your ideas. This tool would also benefit those who are developing idea oriented thinking. This would also help start to consider different styles of idea development and visual learning. This tool would be introduced at the same time as the tug of war tool to give choice and inspire more belonging, since the user gets to make the choices. The outcomes of this tool and more independent unto the user, since the drawings are their own and hence so are the thoughts. After the user is comfortable, an assessment would be made to see if the user is ready to tackle this tool. The intuitive thinker toy that I chose was Chilling Out. By this point, the team would be feeling pushed to try to create without really understanding what innovation could do for the team. This tool would be great at this point to start focusing the thoughts into the goal. This can only be by clearing the mind of the outer noise of the world. First, establish if there is already a way a team member uses to clear their mind of static, be it meditation or yoga. If they already do this, encourage them to keep doing this for their escape to clearing their mind. If not, there are a few exercises that can be described to help them achieve relaxation. The first is the Jello syndrome, which helps relaxation by relaxing muscles in a series of patterns by moving down and out of the body. If this needs help slowing breathing in and out, and saying relax may help. The next one is called Truman's Foxhole, which is another way of trying to help someone relax by encouraging them to go to a safe place in their mind. This could be a childhood refuge or a quiet pond for memory. This, in essence, is their sanctuary. If this still isn't their cup of tea, try having them close their eyes and picturing a hot air balloon. This hot air balloon actually can associate with the idea of actually putting all their problems into the gondola and sending them away. Very similar to the concept of the hot air balloon is actually the concept of letting go. Many people hold on to things unhealthy to them, like a monkey holding onto nuts trapped in a jar, whereas just letting go of the nuts would set him free. In this case, it is a banana. Trying this for up to 6 to 7 days a week will make the next week feel all the more relaxing. The team that has discussed the innovations of the exercises past will benefit heavily now, letting all of that go. Teams, when pushed to learn something new like innovation, may be buckling under pressure if they don't see it developing the way they would like. This should give the team a new breath of fresh air to go into the next task. The implementation of this goal would be when questions start flying about why they are being made to learn something so abstract and want to give up. The last thinker toy I used was in the in toys, which is You Are Not a Field of Grass. This thinker toy does not necessarily have a blueprint, but it is a given when being used with the others. As long as the mind pumping tool is still being asked to be used throughout the development of the process, have the team member revisit their idea log or look at the quote of ideas they have created and compare them to the first ones they used. What you want to do is inspire them to perceive that they have changed ever so, even ever so minutely. When this tool is introduced, all the team should have completed the first four tools. This last tool should be used to show not that the creative idea has evolved, but the user. Implementation would have happen by asking to see their first attempts as creative ideas. This concludes the Thinker Toy Inspired Portfolio by Willie Smoker.